Hey, what's going on, guys? Sean Don coming back with a technical analysis. Here we have David Neal, a Masters competitor, throwing the 16-pound hammer. So let's take a look. He sent me a couple different vids. Most of them look pretty much the same, which is good. Good for you, David. Your technique doesn't vary wildly from throw to throw, at least from what you sent me. So that's good. So let's take a look. Working on the feels with the 16. Okay, let's watch the next one. A little better. More on the left side. Clipped a tree. And kind of in between the two. So I like the second one the best. So we're gonna break that one down. Okay, let's break it down. Honestly, pretty decent throw. It looks like you turn with the ball pretty well. Winds look pretty standard, nothing crazy. Nice long relaxed arms, a little step out. Staying centered, countering the ball. Setting up your left side pretty well, staying square, level shoulders, level hips. Right leg turning with the ball pretty good. Coming around the left side pretty nicely. Catching nice and early, pretty solid posture. Looks like you could let the ball stretch a little bit forwards a little bit more. When you catch from right here, you can see there's just a little bit of tightness that happens throughout the whole body. You can't really quite see your left foot, it's just out of frame, but you can see it kind of clamps down a little bit early, and there's just a tad bit of tightness. So you could be a little bit more relaxed through the shoulders. Keep your hands kind of up and out a little bit more rather than kind of coming down so much. Also, your chest comes a little bit forwards as well. You could keep your head up and think about kind of keeping your chest up and shoulders back. Not shoulders back, not in the retracted sense, like not in your shoulder blades pulling backwards, but leaning backwards still with these relaxed shoulders. As you can see, so like I said, you do a pretty good job of turning with the ball, but in terms of working the ball in the way that I think it should be done, I don't think you do the best job. Not saying it's a bad thing, just saying it's room to improve. So, like I said, you turn with the ball well, and that's kind of like the first step. So once again, shoulders, hips level with the ball, square to it. But then, so this is kind of what I'm talking about when I say you don't quite work the ball. So as the ball goes left, and you see this left leg straighten out, this left hip is going to go back, and this right hip isn't really going to go into the ball at all. It just kind of sinks down and back away from the hammer. It's very subtle. But from about right here, you can see these hips shifting back away from the hammer, really straight left leg, and then you kind of sneak that right leg around and catch. Once again, you can see a little bit of tightness through the lats just a bit, and maybe up through the shoulders a bit. And then you see these arms kind of clamp down again. And then, but yeah, you still stay square with the ball, you're still turning with the ball, but then same thing here. Left leg straightens out a bit, and these hips kind of sink back just a bit. And then same sort of thing here. Posture is getting a little bit better. Our hips more underneath you, back is more straight, but you can still see the tension in the lats and shoulders. And then especially, you can kind of even start to see in your arms, there's a slight bend. Very slight bend, but still doing a good job really turning with the ball. As you can see here, 3 turns in and you're just as square with the ball as you were at the start, which is pretty dope. But then same thing, the left hip kind of shifts back, right hip kind of shifts back, and then you can kind of see your right hip getting into a little bit more there. And then still a little bit of tightness, hands up and out, shoulders more relaxed out this way. And then really solid left side here. hips through. So you see this motion right here where your hips work up into the ball. I would like to see you do that a little bit in each throw. Or not in each throw, in each turn. Sorry, technically it is a throw, but in each turn. That's how you kind of accelerate the ball. Kind of think of it as like a snatch or a clean, sort of. You're just doing it rotationally. So let's go back to the start, and I'll try to show you what I want you to do. So once again, doing a great job turning with the ball. You just need to kind of get your hips into it a little bit more. So entry doesn't matter so much if you're starting on a toe turn. Hips don't matter too much. It's more about setting up connection with the hammer, which you do a good job of. Then you catch, and then from right here, I want you to think about kind of keeping this left leg bent. The left heel is going to come down, and then you want to think about kind of holding this left side. Left shoulder stays here, left hip stays here. And then you want to think about really working this right hip into the ball, or kind of right hip towards your hands, right hip towards the high point. But pretty much as the ball goes left, you don't want this right hip to sink back. You want this right hip to go around and kind of chase the ball out to the left and work up into it. And even from more of a 2D sort of view, I suppose, like I said, you almost want to try to think triple extension kind of back towards 180. And then that'll kind of get your right hip into the throw a little bit more, and that'll help you work and stabilize his left side, and then you'll feel much more power. Because like I said, right now you're just kind of turning, and I'm sure you feel some tension building a little bit. Like I said, your hip does get better as the throw goes on, but if you could get that right hip more into it earlier, you'd feel a little bit more power. So, kind of a hard thing to understand at first. It took me a couple of years to figure it out, but yeah, once you feel that right hip working in each turn, it's such a drastic difference in how the ball accelerates. It's much easier. You're fighting with it less. It comes from the hips and the torso rather than the shoulders and the arms. So yeah, just keep that left leg a little bit bent, get that right hip into it a little bit more, and keep staying square to the ball. Like I said, very good patience, very good job turning with the ball. Just got to get that right hip into it more. So, yeah, David, let me know if you have any questions. Happy to help. If anybody else out there would like a technical analysis, hit me up, comment down below, slide my Instagram DMs, doesn't matter. Yeah, happy to help anybody out there. So let me know. Thanks for watching. Sean Don, peace and out.